Hello and welcome back to another HiFi-Dawson video. Today I have the Onix Tocata XM2 digital audio player. This is Onix's cheapest digital audio player, priced below the Overture XM5 and the XM10. Disclosure, I purchased this myself. This was not sent in for review. And well, let's get into it. So this is a non-Android pure music player. It goes for $439 US. It has a 3.5 millimeter output that can do 204 milliwatts per channel, and a 4.4 millimeter balanced output that can do up to 800 milliwatts per channel on high gain. This does have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Wi-Fi can do both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and the Bluetooth is 5.2. which supports the SBC, AAC, aptX HD, and LDAC codecs. This doesn't support music streaming services except for Tidal, but you can only stream with Tidal. You cannot download for offline playback. There is no internal storage, so it relies on a micro SD card, as you can see here, with support up to 2 terabyte cards. And it has a USB-C port that supports 12 watts fast charging, and it can be used as a USB DAC. And you can also do USB-C audio output. It has a 720p OLED display, which is a very nice display. It has a very, very nice volume wheel with a nice grippy texture on here. And when you move it, it has a nice subtle clicky feel to it. It feels very nice. There's also playback buttons here with previous track, play, pause, and next track, and then a customizable function button. The battery is a 3000 milliamp an hour battery that can do up to 8.5 hours of playback, which is a little bit on the low end, but I will get into that. The back here is also glass, and the build is CNC aluminum. It feels incredibly solid. This has a Cirrus Logic CS4308P 8-channel DAC inside. I think it's one of their newer DAC chips. I haven't seen it used anywhere else. And it is accompanied by 2 SGM8262 op amps. It's the same ones used in the Shanling M1 Plus, actually. This runs Shanling's M-Touch OS, which, if you're familiar with Shanling's non-Android digital audio players, it's the same thing basically. This thing weighs about 140 grams. It doesn't feel heavy, but it feels dense. So it kind of has it feels heavier than it is, just because I think the density and how well it feels like it's made. And because of the operating system used on here, there is a 20,000 track limit for the music app to be indexed, but if you use the file browser, it's basically unlimited. You can get a case like this one. This is a nice orange leather case. I actually really like it. Fits very snugly, it doesn't move or anything, and it even has MagSafe built into the back. With it, you get this sticky magnetic sticker, which you can put on a case or a phone if you want, which is good because the case that I have for my phone, I don't have the case on it, but for my Galaxy Fold 7, the MagSafe ring is here, and basically what happens is you can't let it sit flush because the camera array blocks it. So basically this is meant so that you can put it lower, stick it on, and then you're good to go. It's actually a very nice case. If you're gonna spend the money to buy this kind of device, I would probably recommend a case like this for it. In the box, you get a pretty standard USB-C to USB-A cable. It is branded with the Onix, I don't know if you can see that, yeah, the Onix logo on it. You also get 2 screen protectors, one for the front, one for the back if you wish, or just use both for the front, because there is no pre-applied screen protector on here. And you get documentation. So looking at the internals a bit more, so this runs the Nginx X2000 chipset, which is pretty popular among the non-Android DAPs, especially on Shanling and HiFi devices. In this one, with the Cirrus Logic chip that's used, Onix has this new architecture called Brighton. And basically what it is, it's a custom current to voltage conversion stage. Supposedly supposed to bring improved precision, reduce loss in detail, lower distortion, that kind of thing. But we'll get into the sound quality in a little bit. So we're gonna power it on here and we'll just see what this looks like. So as I said, this runs Shanling's M-Touch OS. It has a custom skin on it to match the aesthetic, which is this black and gold kind of aesthetic, which looks really nice. Like, if you like this aesthetic, it is very well done. If you do not like this aesthetic, you are going to hate the operating system because there is no way to change the colors. This is basically what you get. I do like Shanling's M-Touch operating system. I think it gives a good amount of features, and it's smooth, and it gets a lot of things right that so many other non-Android operating systems kind of miss the mark on. This does run a little bit warm when you're using it, and if your volume is, say, 50 or higher, because there's 100 steps here, and you have high gain on, it does get a little bit warm to the touch, almost like using a HiFi R4, if you've used that before. I like the main screen options. I like that you can somewhat customize it. You cannot necessarily reorder them unless you deselect everything and then add back what you want. It's a little bit finicky, but I guess there's at least an option. From here, this is the place where you will update the library, and if you go looking for the settings for that, you can't find it anywhere else other than on here, so be aware that it is kind of hidden on the main screen. It doesn't even take that long, actually, in my opinion, to index. I have about almost 11,000 tracks on here, and it took about 5.5 minutes. You also have the folder browser, so you go in here and you can go in and see all your folders. If you have more than 20,000 tracks, this is how you're gonna play back your music. What I really like, is that they give you the option to select between artist and album artist. And I always try to properly tag my music library so that all the featured tracks, all tracks that have featured artists are in the artist tag, and the album artist is populated with the album's artist. And so many non-Android digital audio players only give you the either the artist option, or if they give you the album artist option, like on the HiFi OS ones, you cannot view albums properly. So this gives you the best of both worlds, and I think it does a really good job. The one thing I do hate is when you go into an artist, you have two options, track and album, not a big deal, but I do wish you could just have it go directly to album instead of having to go select it each time. So if I go back into it, goes to track again. Not the end of the world, but just a little inconvenience. I also wish that they would cache the album art, either once you view it, either you view it once or during the indexing, because every time you go into something, it will every single time load the album art, even if you have already gone into it. Again, a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. This does support M3U playlists, so you can create them on the computer, import them on here, or you can create playlists on here. You cannot organize them in any way. You cannot create folders if that is something you're used to from, say, Spotify. If you do want to import M3U playlists on the SD card, you have to have an X playlist data folder. Yeah, just like that. Put them all in here, and then they're good to go. Under playback settings, we got gain options. We got various digital filters. I like the linear phase fast roll off. EQ, note that this EQ only applies to files below 48 kilohertz, so CD quality basically. And if we turn that on, you get basic 10-band graphic EQ. Nice to have, but I guess I wish there was a little bit more options here. I wish there was parametric EQ. That would be really handy for a device like this, especially since HiFi-OS is now starting to implement a PEQ. You can select your play mode here, set your max volume, default volume, DSD output, memory playback, so it can do it either no memory playback or by the track you're on or the exact location of that track. Gapless support is on here, of course. Hard to imagine a device nowadays not having gapless support. Also has replay gain, which is something I do appreciate. Channel balance, and then of course you can do the fold album cover. It just puts the album cover on the folder when you're in the folder browser, and folder skip so that it'll continue to the next folder once you've done playing back that one. In the system settings here, various languages. Wireless settings, like I said, it's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and then Shanling's Sync Link, which is used in their Edict player on iPhone and Android. The one caveat here is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth cannot be enabled at the same time. So, for example, if you want to stream Tidal while listening to Bluetooth headphones, you cannot do that. Shanling/Onix say this is because of interference, but you know, many other devices let you do this. Network service, so DLNA, AirPlay, Wi-Fi file transfer. I think the Wi-Fi file transfer is very handy. It's really, really nice on a device when a device has that. AirPlay actually does work. I have tested that. More of a nice to have than kind of a necessity. Your display settings, so your brightness, screen off time, and lock screen. No possibility to change the theme. This is kind of an interesting thing. It has this auto standby option. This does is it'll go into a low power state. What I have noticed with that enabled is if you lock the device and you put it down and you go away for more than 5 minutes and you come back and you turn it on and you go to hit play, it kind of waits for a few seconds and until it kind of ramps back up. It's like waiting for something to load on like an old mechanical hard drive. I guess that's just the compromise with the standby performance. Vehicle mode, just power on and off for the USB port when you have it connected in a car. The button lock, which I do enable for the volume, just so I'm not knocking this when I have it in my pocket or I'm picking it up and stuff like that. So if you turn it off, then the lock icon goes away, turn it back on. These are the various options you get. You can do screen rotation, which is pretty cool, I think. Because the outputs are on the bottom, I do like that. And if you want them on the top, you can just rotate the screen. 180, there we go. Just like that. And the custom function key. So I have it set to return to the main menu, which I like the most, I think. But you can do other things to screen rotation, the button lock screen, gain, favorites. It's a nice handy addition. Firmware updates can be done over the air or through the SD card. You can format the SD card on here, which not a lot of non-Android devices do that. And reset your settings. This is using the latest firmware, version 1.16. So going to the artist, see it scrolls pretty nicely. It's very smooth. The faster you scroll your finger, the faster it goes, or you go slower like this. Overall, very nice. Can view albums, and here it will cache the album art, or all your songs. And if you go to the right here, then there's even more options. You can enable genres for your high-res ones, your favorites, frequencies and stuff like that. I usually don't use those, but the option is there if you do. And then of course title. So, oh yes, and there's this scroll down or pull down from the top. So it has these nice quick actions here and you can control the brightness. And like that, turn Wi-Fi on and off and stuff like that. I don't have a Tidal account anymore, but I have used Tidal on here and Shanling M1 Plus, and I will say that if you plan to use this as a dedicated Tidal device, you're going to be very disappointed. The experience is not that great. It has issues loading playlists sometimes. It has issues even loading songs sometimes. It's more of a nice to have feature than something you will want to rely on. If you want music streaming, I always suggest just get an Android DAP. I do like that it has a battery percentage here. On the Shanling M1 Plus, it does not show the battery percentage, and so you were always kind of guessing where you were at. But that brings us to the battery life performance, which is 8.5 hours, and that is not a lot for a device like this. It is maybe good for listening for a few times a day for me, but it's not something that I can go all day with. It does have excellent standby performance, so I guess it's about, what did my notes say, about 3 weeks? Yeah, about 3 weeks worth of standby, which is pretty decent. You can just, turn the screen off, put it down, walk away. Next day, pick it up, and there'll only be 1% or 2% battery gone. It does have the 12-watt fast charging, so that does help a bit, but I do wish that they had more efficient battery performance in this, but I guess that was the trade-off with the internals and the sound quality. When you play music, this is the now playing screen. It's pretty similar to the other mTouchOS ones. You have your basic information here with the album art. You can do the playback modes here. You can access the current queue, but you cannot modify that queue. You can't go add up next or anything like that. You can favorite it. If you hit the 3 dots here, you get other options like A/B repeat or the speed multiplier. You can add the playlist. You can even, if you have an internet connection, download the cover art and lyrics if you need. And if you swipe here, you can get lyrics and then the file information. There's also this really handy kind of VU meter here, which looks kind of cool. I would say this is similar to the cassette tape feature that a lot of audio players are implementing now, is like this retro thing that looks kind of neat. I don't necessarily like looking at my audio player when I'm listening to music, so it doesn't really matter to me, but maybe it matters to you. Speaking of the sound quality, so this is a fairly neutral and precise device. It's overall transparent, very balanced, and I would say maybe it's very refined. The bass kind of is a little bit lean and fast. It doesn't add any warmth there for sure. But the sub-bass extension goes pretty deep, and I would say it's pretty impressive. So basically this will not be the weaker link in your chain. It will be your headphones or your IEM, which is usually the case. I like the mid-range performance on here. I'm a mid-range focused person, that's my preference. Vocals sound very clear and natural. I think that the Brighton architecture helps there. They clearly put a lot of effort into making sure that there's a realistic note weight to the instruments in the mid-range. Nothing sounds too thick or too thin. It just sounds all natural and very, very, very nice and pleasing. The treble is smooth and I would say refined. It's not fatiguing, maybe a little bit slightly relaxed, but otherwise very detailed. And again, it's more like, it will not be the limiting factor for your music listening experience. One thing I did notice is, despite this having a low output impedance on both outputs, there is a somewhat noticeable noise floor when you use sensitive IEMs. So I was testing this out with the Campfire Audio Andromeda 10, and I definitely, on both outputs, could hear some background hiss. And it was just audible enough for me to be annoying that I don't want to listen to that, especially in quieter tracks or tracks that have pauses in them, and you can hear it and it kind of ruins the immersive experience. These ones, these IEMs here, this is the Campfire Audio Iris. They are fairly sensitive, but not as sensitive as the Andromeda 10. This is a perfect pairing with this. I don't hear any noise floor with those. And actually, I was using this pairing a lot. This is a nice portable way for me to listen to music with excellent synergy. But if you are planning to use very sensitive IEMs, just be aware of that. This does drive over-ear headphones very well, especially on the balanced output, because it can do the 800 milliwatts of output power. All the headphones I have are not that hard to drive. You know, the Audi's LCD2s may be one of the harder ones, because yes, most things can drive it, but you need that extra bit of consistent power to get the full dynamics of it, and this can do that no problem. Actually, you can even do it on the 3.5 millimeter. The Sennheiser HD660 S2 also no problem on both outputs, although I do prefer it on the balanced because just the little bit extra dynamics that it can have in the musicality. If you were going to compare this to the sound quality of the Shanling M1 Plus, because that is sort of a natural progression from that device to something like this, the XM2 here is clearer and more resolving in its presentation. It has the more natural mid-range, and the soundstage is actually a little bit better. It's more holographic and it's very, very accurate. So basically, who is a device like this for? So this is a small portable device, and this is for someone I think who wants something portable, who doesn't need all-day battery life, but wants an excellent listening experience, as long as you don't have sensitive IEMs. Basically everything, this is also for the person who's coming from this, the Shanling M1 Plus. It is an upgraded version of that, essentially. It has very similar connectivity options, very similar feature sets, but there is a noticeable sound quality improvement, and build quality is a little bit better, even though this is still very nice. The volume knob is much nicer to use as opposed to this. And I do prefer the outputs are on the bottom, not on the top. If you are looking at something else in this price range, because this is $439, well, the Shanling M1 Plus is $200. So if you really don't care about the extra sound quality, or you don't notice it, you could get that. Or I guess a little bit below this, now it's $370, I guess, because of the price increases. There's the FIO M21. Still at that price, one of the best digital audio players for the money at that price. Good build quality, good sound quality, direct mode, so there's battery bypass, and a very smooth Android experience. Or you could go up to the Shanling M3 Plus, which I guess, so this is $470 now, but they lowered the price. You can get it on sale just because it's being replaced by the M3 Plus Master Edition, which that has a price increase up to $600. This is still a very good Android DAP. It's very new, actually. It came out last year, I believe. I think it's Android 13. Smooth, has a volume rocker on here. All metal build, glass back, glass front. Same output connectivity. Great, pretty, good buttons. Just a solid Android digital audio player. But if you want to keep it simple, this is probably the way to go. Just a non-Android, pure music-focused digital audio player that isn't necessarily going to break the bank at $439. And it gets the job done, I think. It's overall very nice. But what do you guys think? What are your music listening preferences? Do you like non-Android digital audio players? Do you like Android digital audio players? Do you like the customizability and flexibility of that? Do you not care? Do you still use your iPod? I have an iPod Classic 7th Gen still that I use sometimes. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What do you guys still use? What do you guys want to see in more videos? And if you guys want a written review, let me know, because I usually do written reviews for these, but I decided to do a video review just to show off these. It's a little bit easier just to see in a video recording how this thing looks and behaves, especially the interface, which I have noticed has become increasingly of a concern to most people. They want something that functions very well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. There will be affiliate links in the description below. That is not an endorsement of me saying you should buy this. This is just me saying if you are going to purchase this, that would help me purchase more digital audio players for review for this kind of thing. All right, well, I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you next time.